Part 1, Chapter 1, The Principle of Creation. Throughout history, people have anguished over the fundamental questions of human life and the universe without arriving at satisfying answers. This is because no one has understood the root principle by which humanity and the universe were originally created. To approach this topic properly, it is not enough to examine resultant reality. The fundamental question is that of the causal reality. Problems concerning human life and the universe cannot be solved without first understanding the nature of God. Section 1. Dual characteristics of God and the created universe. How can we know the divine nature of the invisible God? One way to fathom his deity is by observing the universe which he created, Romans 1:20. Everything in the created universe is a substantial manifestation of some quality of the Creator's invisible divine nature. Just as we can come to know the character of an artist through his works, so we can understand the nature of God by observing the diverse things of creation. Common elements in the natural world. Let us begin by pointing out the common elements which are found universally throughout the natural world. Every entity possesses dual characteristics of yang plus and yin minus, and come into existence only when these characteristics have formed reciprocal relationships both within the entity and between it and other entities. For instance, atoms display either a positive or a negative valence. Plants propagate by means of stamen and pistil, and animals multiply and maintain their species through the relationship between male and female. Finally, human beings are either a man or woman. Dual characteristics of internal nature and external form. However, there is another more fundamental pair of dual characteristics in the reciprocal relationship. Every entity possesses both an outer form and an inner quality. The visible outer form resembles the invisible inner quality. The inner quality is called internal nature, and the outer form or shape is called external form. Since internal nature and external form refer to corresponding inner and outer aspects of the same entity, the external form may also be understood as a second internal nature. Therefore, the internal nature and external form together constitute dual characteristics. Let us take human beings as an example. A human being is composed of an outer form, the body, and an inner quality, the mind. Mind is the internal nature and body is the external form. Mind and body are two correlative aspects of a human being. Hence, the body may be understood as a second mind. Together, they constitute the dual characteristics of a human being. Similarly, all beings exist through the reciprocal relationships between their dual characteristics of internal nature and external form. God's dual characteristics. The first cause must also possess the dual characteristics of internal nature and external form, which stand in the position of subject partner to the internal natures and external forms of all beings. We call this first cause of the universe God, and we call God's internal nature and external form the original internal nature and original external form. It is only natural to surmise that God, the first cause of all things, also exists based on the reciprocal relationship between his dual characteristics of yang and yin. Relationship between internal nature, external form, and yang and yin. What is the relationship between the dual characteristics of internal nature and external form and the dual characteristics of yang and yin? God's original internal nature and original external form each contain the mutual relationship of original yang and original yin. Therefore, original yang and original yin are attributes of original internal nature and original external form. God is the subject in whom the dual characteristics of original internal nature and original external form are in harmony. At the same time, God is the harmonious union of masculinity and femininity, which manifests the qualities of original internal nature and original external form, respectively. In relation to the universe, God is the subject partner, having the qualities of internal nature and masculinity. In recognition of God's position as the internal and masculine subject partner, we call him our Father. Relationship between God and the universe. God is the invisible subject partner, and the universe as a whole is a subject-object partner. God is the invisible subject partner, and the universe as a whole is a substantial object partner to God, in accordance with the principle of creation. In accordance with the principle of creation, God's dual characteristics manifests itself symbolically or in image as individual embodiments of truth, which constitute the universe. Since individual embodiments of truth are all substantial object partners to God, resembling his original internal nature and original external form, they each possess within themselves both internal nature and external form, and likewise both yang and yin.